Hey Grace, this is Mrs. Skoglund. Just wanted to give you a little feedback on your summer assignment. And so we're mostly going to talk just about this first L-directed question because I think what I saw in your other paragraphs is very similar, so I'll kind of talk through that one. But I'll also mention some other things as we're going through as well, okay? So, in a body paragraph structure, which is what this is, the first thing that I look for is a topic sentence. And ideally, we want that to answer the question that you were given so that it kind of previews what's coming in the paragraph. I think a lot of times, Grace, in this paragraph included, you are like referencing parts of the question. So this question was about like what our directed careers are, what careers are being impacted by our directed thinking. So I think you definitely are like referencing that, but I would like you to come out maybe a little more directly and actually answer the question. So tell me, office employers, nurses, and waitresses, or whatever, are the careers that are being impacted and need more R-directed thinking. So just try to be a little more direct there. The next thing I look at is actually at the end of your paragraph, which is a concluding sentence, and we want that to also refer back to the question so that the reader sort of knows, okay, like this is a signal that the paragraph is ending. I think, Grace, you did a pretty good job with your concluding sentences. Like, I think you sort of summarized what had happened in the paragraph. I just think sometimes maybe they could have been expanded a little bit. Like this one, I would have liked maybe for you to tie those careers back in that you had talked about. But I could tell that it was like the end of your paragraph, so good job there. All right, next I looked at evidence, and I'm actually going to talk a little bit about commentary with this as well, and I'll explain why. But I think probably my biggest issue, Grace, with your L-directed paragraphs is the lack of evidence from the text. So if you notice, there's not any direct quotes or really even references to A Whole New Mind here. And if I looked at your other ones, it was the same kind of deal, like there weren't really any direct quotes. At the sophomore level, that is something we're really looking for, is for you to be able to integrate evidence from the text, and then commentary is where you analyze that evidence. So unfortunately, I thought that you had some great ideas. Like I really like this example of waiters and waitresses and how they have some L-directed things like memorization, but also some R-directed skills. I think those are ideas that would be awesome, but they would be strengthened if you had evidence from the text first to talk more about and expand those examples a little bit. So I would really recommend that you go back and revise because I think those are all things that could definitely be improved. Next, I looked at conventions and citations. Sorry, I don't know why I was going up. Conventions, like I can definitely tell that you proofread. I would just encourage you to watch out for these personal pronouns, especially you. It just sounds really informal for our academic writing. So even like people would be able to take in information. That's going to elevate your writing a lot. Obviously, you didn't have citations, so that's something we want to get in and try and fix. I did think that you did a good job on your R-directed activities, and I want to talk about chapter 6 because I know that was one that you felt was strong. I am having done band forever, very familiar with 1812 Overture, and I really liked how you analyzed this really well, and you talked about kind of the history behind it and how that related to the sound. And so I thought it was great that, like Symphony, which is the chapter, you were kind of seeing this bigger picture and what all of these different parts were supposed to mean. So good job there. Just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback.